Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Next Man Up podcast. I'm your co-host Wyatt, and I have my other host over here, Austin. How's it going today?
Pretty good. Big day today.
Big day. Yep. So we decided to take last week off. There just wasn't much going on, and we were also just kind of busy. But stuff happens like that. So we're kind of back for this week. Um, some more things happened, and we kind of just want to dive right into here. Just a couple things. Um, So I made an appearance on our friend's podcast, To the Line. That's our friend Will's podcast. I was on there a couple times, so you guys definitely go check that out. I'll put the link in the bio and stuff like that. And yeah, just give him a little plug there. So since we last talked, there was a lot of draft trades, NFL draft trades that happened. We had the 49ers trade up to to three, sorry, with the Dolphins. And then the Dolphins went and traded back up to six with the Eagles. So we decided we're going to do a updated mock draft. We're not going to go too in depth like last time, but we're just going to, because things did shake up a lot. I think, positioning and where guys are going to fall really um, just changed that day, just
Yeah.
um, in a span of 1 hour. So we're gonna start off here. Okay, so obviously, and like last time, we didn't have any trades, but this time I think we put a few in there, just like hypothetical trades that we think could happen or should happen. Um, so yeah. So okay, obviously, we'll just go back and forth and go from there. So Jaguars, um, obviously, I think this is a very obvious pick, no brainer. Trevor Lawrence. I think, obviously the best quarterback prospect arguably ever. Um, it's funny, the Jaguars aren't even trying to um like smoke screen or just try and act like they're not going to take him. It's just because most people with the first pick, most teams, they just kind of push it to the side and act like they're not going to do it. The Jaguars just straight out said it, like, okay, yeah, we're going in this direction. Like Urban Meyer, that's what he said. So obviously, just a franchise altering player. Urban Meyer, the long history of working with young quarterbacks, is going to fit really well. I think they'll compete pretty soon. Just depends on what they get from their other picks in this draft. And Austin, I think you have the same thing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if they didn't take Lawrence here, it'd be kind of a mistake. I mean, not much to really say here. I mean, he's a franchise quarterback, best quarterback prospect since like Andrew Luck, I'd say. And yeah, I mean, the potential there is just limitless. Like I don't he's basically
Yeah,
a lock in my opinion.
yeah, you can't. Yeah, nothing's changing there. So we're just gonna roll on there. That's so obvious. So number two, the Jets. I think this pick is
Yeah,
becoming.
this is starting to like really become locked.
Yep, exactly. It's starting to completely lock in recently. So I have the Jets taking Zach Wilson. It just seems like they're going just towards a completely new era in Wilson. They're I don't think they're completely off the table. It's a situation where the Jets keep Darnold and draft Wilson, and then they
Yep.
just have him compete for the job in camp. And I could honestly totally see Darnold winning the job, continuing to start, and just you know, um, they're just saying to him, just go out there and ball. Just earn yourself some money for the contract because it's his final year on his rookie deal. He'll either get traded or just sign a new contract in free agency. So and then they'll
Yep.
move on, just continue with Wilson. So I can totally see that happening. Wilson, strong arm, mobile. A lot of people like him. I think most people do. I'm not the biggest fan. I think he'll do well. It's just I have some concerns about his size and posture and just kind of his poise to compete at the NFL
Yeah.
level. To me, honestly, he just seems like a better version of Drew Lock. And I'm not saying that as an insult at all. It's not. It's they just have a similar attitude to me. They look super similar and they both have those gunslinger tendencies. They can both launch it 50 yards, no problem downfield. So who do you have, Austin, there? I don't think
I have Zach Wilson too. I mean, the only thing you have to worry about is just like maybe the competition and the posture, like you said, and his height too on that. Uh, yeah, I mean, his arm, like you said, is there. Like you're not gonna be missing that with him. What else? He's just he's a raw prospect. I feel like him and someone else will talk about Trey Lance. They're both gonna take a little bit of time. I feel like to like be that NFL ready prospect.
Mm,
But once they're there, I don't see why they can't be good.
yeah, I'd like to see Wilson probably like sit here, like
Yeah,
under, just to kind of develop with the new offense and just kind of see what he's going for out there. So, I mean, not too crazy there. We both have the same. So this is where I think it gets very interesting. So obviously, 49ers, they just traded up at number 3, with the Dolphins. So now they have number 3, and it's becoming pretty obvious what position they're going to pick. I think they're going quarterback, and I think they're going to pick Trey Lance. I think the 49ers just intended just for him to trade up. I think he fits perfect in the 49ers offense. I think it also makes sense because I think Jimmy G, everyone's kind of, oh yeah, they're going to trade him for sure, even though I think they will keep him just for another year
yep,
and just have Lance kind of develop under. And if Jimmy G just really isn't working out, which I don't think is going to be the case, honestly, I think he'll be pretty serviceable in my opinion. I don't think Jimmy G's a bad quarterback. I think he's like slightly above average. He's just kind of had some injury issues last year. So
yeah. If he could stay healthy, he'd be pretty good.
I know we're kind of forgetting that this guy played in the Super Bowl a year ago. So I don't
And
know.
like people also forget, like remember when he got traded there? Like he was carrying that team. Like
Oh, he was.
he was the reason why they were winning games when they
He's
were not good.
he's playing extremely well. No mistakes. I think people are just kind of giving up like super fast. And I think the 49ers are kind of like that kind of team. But I think Trey Lance's best fit in San Francisco. I think this is the biggest decision Kyle Shanahan will probably make as a head coach. But with Trey Lance, he's humble, strong arm, mobile, big and physical. I mean, I think I guess like a comparison could be a smaller Josh Allen. He's not as tall as
Yeah,
Josh Allen, but again, like uh Western school guy, small school, big arm. He's gonna need a ton of development like Josh Allen did. You know, Josh Allen looked terrible in his first 2 years, but obviously made this huge leap this year. And I think it can be a similar situation to Trey Lance. So I have 49ers taking Trey Lance, and yeah, who do you have, Austin, there?
So I have Justin Fields here. I feel like it could go a lot of directions. Like I would be okay with them taking really anyone here that's available. It's just I see Fields and I'm like, the Niners probably want to compete. They don't want to wait too long. And say they do get rid of Jimmy G. All right. I think Fields is probably the guy who's gonna win you the most games out of the quarterbacks besides Trevor Lawrence. So like we're talking like Lance, Mac Jones, and then Fields. So like I think out of those three, oh, and Wilson. I think out of those four, I mean he's probably the most like pro ready. So you draft him, you put him into that Shanahan system. I think he honestly fits it perfectly. Like he's mobile. He's more mobile than Jimmy G, which I think they like a lot. They want a mobile guy. And he's just gonna I think he'll fit really well in there. I mean, he's a winner. He won a lot at Ohio. And I just think him and Shanahan are just gonna get well really together, like really well together.
Yeah, that's completely fair. I think it could go, like you said. I think it could go either way. I can even see them taking Mac Jones. I think that's kind of
Yeah, I could
has
see it too.
yeah, it's been gaining some steam as of recent. But I just again I agree with the Fields pick too. I think he's very pro ready. I think he's kind of similar to Lance in a lot of ways, but we'll just see what happens. So, anyways, moving on, we have number 4, the Falcons. This could also go a lot of ways. I think they have a lot of needs, especially on defense. But I have them taking Penei Sewell. I think Matt Ryan has a good amount of years left. I think he's only 35. And I don't think you can really trade Matt Ryan just because he has a
Yeah.
lot of and he can't even cut him because he has a
I
lot
saw
of
that. I saw something about next year. He has like a 60 million like dead cap thing or 40 million.
exact. Yeah,
It's
exactly.
bad.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Like lots of dead cap that just cannot be moved, in my opinion. I think he's good too. I think Matt Ryan's still a top 12 quarterback. Wouldn't you agree? I mean,
Yeah,
I don't see any issues
you
with it.
still
It's
win
just
games with him. I mean, I don't see.
yeah. I mean, they almost beat Kansas City if Young Ho Koo didn't miss that field goal. So I don't. I just think they need help on defense. That's all. I think their offense is completely fine, but just gives Ryan some more protection. Um, pretty much. Team also needs some defensive needs more than offense. I think they'll just kind of address that later in the draft. But I think taking the best O line prospect is probably the safest thing to do at this point. But yeah, I think it's a good pick. Who do you have, Austin?
So here's my first trade of the day. So
Okay.
I have the Pats moving up from 15 to 4 with the Falcons.
All right. Let's see.
Yeah, it would take a lot. I'm not gonna like get into what the trade would be, but it would definitely take a good haul.
Yeah.
Um, Probably similar to what the Niners gave, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
So,
Probably two first, maybe in a second.
I mean, I'd be so happy if we could get it for less, but I can't see that.
Mm,
All right, so and then I have them taking Trey Lance.
okay.
I
No.
think, I mean, obviously they would need to take a quarterback here if they moved up, and with Cam, you're not sure with Cam and Stidham. Obviously, Stidham's not really the answer right now. Um, but yeah, Trey Lance. I mean, we've talked about him before. He's one of my favorite arms in the draft. I mean,
Mm,
he's really poised. Um, he doesn't mind going to the check down if he needs to. He spreads the ball around. Uh, I think I've already said this, but like my favorite arm in the draft, like
mm,
something about him, just he's electric. And I don't know if you guys watch his pro day, but it was something special.
mm. Yeah, I completely agree with that. I mean, I could see that. I think it's a good fit because I definitely think he won't start off the bat. I think they'll
Yeah,
honestly roll with
you
Cam.
could start Cam, and then if Cam either sucks or just plays the whole year, you play him after. So
Yeah, I don't. That's I mean, it's a good scenario. Just kind of learning under one of the best kind of mobile quarterbacks ever. So
yeah,
yeah, I think that's a good situation. I think they like Trey Lance too, the Pats. So I guess
hope
we'll
it.
see there. I would hope so. Yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool for them. But just kind of get that guy, the next
Yeah,
just kind of new era there,
that would help this franchise so much.
tremendously. So, moving on from number 4. And you said you have the Falcons are at 15 for you now, right?
Yeah,
Okay. So I'll just kind of make that clear. Okay. So the 5 spot we have the Bengals. So I think there's I think there's a number of things they can do. I think they can take Jamar Chase. I think they can take Slater, the other O lineman. But I think
can I Sewell maybe?
yeah, if he falls,
Yeah,
I haven't go on the Falcons. That's why.
yeah.
But I just think if this guy falls in your lap, you just cannot pass on him, and that's Kyle Pitts. Um, this is just gonna solve the Bengals revolving tight end situation. They've kind of just had a lot of guys come in and out, and I mean, come on, can you imagine just Burrow,
Um,
Pitts, Higgins, Boyd, Mixon? I don't. And it also helps out on the O line because he's the tight end. So, and he's the best tight end prospect arguably ever. And I think it's just they can solve issues on the O line later, or they can sign guys. I think they already did kind of. I think they took a lineman from the Chargers, I believe, right? I'm not.
um,
I can't remember
yes.
one
Wait,
of
I
them.
think it was
I
oh
know they
no,
got
was it the
some.
Vikings?
I know they got
Was it?
somebody.
Why am I forgetting this?
Um, I'm gonna look it up really quick, but you can say who you have at 5. Austin.
So at 5, I have Jamar Chase. I mean, I could easily see Kyle Pitts go here, like easily. I
Hmm.
mean, it's really just like one or the other. I feel like maybe they go line, but I don't know. They did kind of go after, and they could also go with the line later in the draft if they need to. So yeah, Jamar Chase. I mean, he didn't play this year, but we saw what he could do with Burrow already. That's why I
Mm,
feel like they maybe would, because maybe Burrow pushes for it. But yeah, Jamar Chase is a beast. He's obviously I think he's the best receiver in the class. He had a
yeah,
pretty good pro day. I think he ran a what was it, 4.39 or something like that.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
yeah, the dude's a freak athlete. I'm
yeah,
pretty sure he won the blatant golf when he was with Burrow. So
yeah, yeah. I'd like to see them paired up again. I think that'd be pretty cool. So I think they have a lot of options there as well. I think they,
honestly, like that's my biggest reason why I haven't going there, just because of Burrow. But
yeah, I think they could also trade down honestly and
yeah,
just kind of get more picks for the future. And also the guy they got was Riley Reef. That's his name. I couldn't
yeah,
remember it.
Vikings, dude.
Yeah, Vikings. He's not bad either. So that's a pretty good upgrade. So all right, let's see. So at number 6, you don't have any trades here, right?
Nope.
Okay, so Dolphins at 6. I have them taking Jamar Chase. Um, just a good fit. Gives to a real wide receiver to work with. Fast, good build. Kind of just adding on to what you said. Just kind of hard to pass up. So yeah, that's why I have it 6. Who do you have there?
I have Penei Sewell. I mean, the Dolphins kind of need some line help still. They didn't. I don't think they addressed it yet. Uh, I'm pretty sure they haven't. But if he's there, I feel like you have to. And Jamar Chase is already gone, so like you might be reaching on a receiver here unless you really like Waddle or Smith.
Mm,
But I think you go with your need here. I mean, you got to protect Tua. That's really important for them. And they did get Will Fuller, which is also why I didn't really have them taking a receiver here.
mm.
I just don't think it's as much of a need right now. And you can take one in the second round, or I'm pretty sure they have another first. So just kind of do that then and just focus on line right here. I mean, Penny is a really good line prospect. So that's why I have them taking him.
Yeah, that's fair. I think it's gonna be interesting. A lot of these teams do need have a massive need for a line. I think that a lot of them are just gonna like the Bengals gonna pass and just take a offensive weapon like Kyle Pitts or Jamar Chase, and then just draft O line later because this draft is a very um just deep O line in terms of that. So um I think either could happen. So all right, so at number 7, I believe we're on. I have a trade happening here. It's kind of just a small trade. I have the Panthers trading up with the Lions. They're just gonna move up one spot, and I have the Panthers actually taking Mac Jones. I think there's an obvious need for a quarterback in Carolina. Teddy Bridgewater's not the guy whatsoever. The Panthers really just need a guy who's just comfortable in the pocket and can throw a good, accurate ball. Mac Jones kind of answers that. I understand um, the comparisons of Tom Brady because that's basically what Tom Brady is.
Yeah.
Not I'm not saying he's gonna be Tom Brady, but he plays similar to Tom Brady. Just kind of an accurate, it doesn't have the rocket arm like guys like Justin Fields, Trey Lance, Zach Wilson, but he throws a good accurate ball, can still throw it deep. I mean,
Yeah.
he's gonna miss a few times, but he can still do it. He's capable of it.
I feel like he gets his bad rap that like he just can't go deep at all, but he really can.
He does. He does get a bad rap. I'm not a huge fan of Mac Jones. I think, he's definitely, fourth best quarterback here, but or you know, fifth, sorry. But I don't think that's a problem at all. And this is a offense with just a lot of talent on receiver. DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, guys like that. And of course McCaffrey, the O line is decent. That's all you kind of need with Mac Jones. And I think he'll sit at first, but Teddy B is just going to continue to struggle, in my opinion. And then he'll take it at some point during the season. So who do you have here, Ellison?
So I have the Lions going Devontae Smith at 7. I mean, he's probably the second best receiver in this class. I mean, the dude was unreal this year. And I feel like the Panthers, I mean, not the Lions. I said the Lions. Sorry, they could really use Devontae Smith with with losing what's his name, Marvin Jones, They
Yeah.
just and like who knows what's going to go on with Galladay in the future. I mean, this could be his last year. So I think you get Devontae Smith, you lock up that wide receiver two, and potentially wide receiver one going on in the future.
Oh,
And yeah,
Galladay signed with the Giants, right? Yeah.
oh yeah, Galladay, yeah, yeah. I'm
Yeah,
tired
that's
right
him.
now.
I mean,
Yeah, so they really need him.
that just shows a bigger need, yeah. So
Yeah, that's why I have him. I don't know why I forgot that Galladay left.
I know it was kind of a quiet signing for some reason.
Yeah.
Because I guess it took forever. So yeah. Okay. So okay, on to number 8, pick 8. I have the Lions here because they just traded down with the Panthers. I have them taking receiver as well. I have them taking Jalen Waddle. Just like we said, there's an obvious need at wide receiver. I think Goff kind of needs that quick, speedy weapon who can just dominate the middle of the field, dominate on, flat routes, things like that. And I think Jalen Waddle kind of gives you that. I'm not saying he's going to be Tyreek Hill, but I think that's probably the
Yeah.
best comparison I can find, honestly. They just play very similar. So I think this really helps their offense. So who do you have at
All
8?
right. And then I have the Panthers taking Mac Jones like you did, just not trading up for him.
Mm,
Uh, like you said, he has that Brady comp, and the Panthers really. I don't trust Teddy Bridgewater. Uh, I think Mac Jones. Maybe you keep Teddy this year. You sit Mac for a year.
mm.
The next year you just roll Mac Jones and just see what he does. I mean, I think he's a pretty good prospect. I mean, he's gonna be pretty coachable with being under Saban, so that should be key for them.
Yeah. I mean, I do like that pick. I like the fit there, Mac Jones in
Yeah.
Carolina. So all right, so pick 9. Um, we have the Broncos. So I think this I don't think this is gonna happen. I think the quarterbacks are gonna go pretty early, but I could totally see this happening. Broncos, Justin Fields. I think he could just kind of fall, especially if the Panthers, if they just take Mac Jones. None of these other teams are gonna take a quarterback. Maybe the Falcons, but I just don't think so because of their situation. But I think Justin Fields could end up in the Broncos' hands, and I just think the GM has a hard time just kind of passing up on him because of the obvious need at quarterback. Just because I don't think Drew Lock's the answer at all. Maybe give him just a half season, another season, but I don't know. I think he'll just completely change the offense in Denver, especially with Cortland Sutton coming back, a healthy Noah Fant, things like that. Um, better O line, and it's going to lead to a competition in training camp for the job. And I just think Drew Lock's days are numbered in Denver. So who do you have Broncos take?
So I have the Broncos going Mika Parsons here.
Okay.
I explained in the last mock we did kind of like in depth why, but like they could use another kind of like speedy linebacker just to like kind of coverage. I mean, Chubb isn't really a coverage guy. He's gonna get rushed. I mean, Von Miller is not a great coverage guy. They need that linebacker who can really make plays in the middle of the field.
Mm.
They're kind of missing that. And I do like the Fuller sign. I mean, it seems like they want to build up that defense. So I'm just gonna go with that again. Build up the defense and just kind of roll with that. I mean, they all the Broncos have a really talented roster. It's just the quarterback holding them back. I mean,
They really do.
I
They
feel like if they just had a good quarterback, like they could be so good. That's why I want them to get Watson, but we'll see.
yeah, so do I. But that defense is just it's so uh bulked up, and I
Yeah,
think with Parsons it just really helps him, especially because Vaughn. I think this is last year
yeah.
probably.
I
They'll
forgot
probably
to mention that Vaughn's probably done soon.
yeah.
So
So I like that pick a lot. So number 10, we have the Cowboys. I have them taking Patrick Surtain. There's an obvious need for secondary with the Cowboys. It's been atrocious for a few years. So I think just kind of fills the void a little bit, helps out. And that with the signing of Keanu Neal, he just went there.
yeah,
I think the secondary is going to be nice with Sertan if they pick him. Just a natural and smart playmaker. But I also do not count out Jerry Jones picking an offensive weapon like a wide receiver or a tight end like Pitts if he could fall here.
Yep.
Just
I was
because,
thinking about that.
yeah, if Fitz falls here, I mean, I think they might pick him, but I don't know if he will. So, who do you have the Cowboys taking?
I have Patrick Surtain.
Okay. So
Yeah, I mean, he's my favorite corner in this draft. He does have some flaws to him, but I like him a little bit more than Farley. I think Farley has a few more flaws than him.
mm,
And I think like Surtain's just more NFL ready. And I think the Cowboys need that in their secondary. Like if they can get a really true corner one, and if Diggs develops kinda, like they could have a decent secondary there. So
yeah,
it just makes sense. I mean, unless there's someone you just can't pass here, I mean, it has to be a corner, in my opinion.
yeah, I agree. Um, so yeah, number 11, we have the Giants. I have them taking Micah Parsons. I think he'll fall. I think the Giants just really need to bolster up that front seven. Um, this NFC East is really a run heavy division. I mean, they have some good running backs. You got Ezekiel Elliott, Miles Sanders, and Antonio Gibson. So you really need to bolster up that front seven to kind of stop those big runs from happening. And you also need to give some help for Daniel Jones. They got Galladay. I'm not sure if they really need any more offensive weapons, especially with Saquon coming back. I think wide receivers okay for now with Galladay, Slayton,
Yeah.
and then Sterling Shepard.
I
Guys like
like what
that.
they have there. I mean, they're trying to build something for Daniel Jones, but I just don't trust Daniel yet. I gotta see something.
Yeah, yeah. Like I was gonna say, I think this is kind of his last year to. I think they're gonna roll with him. I don't think they take a quarterback, but maybe take a quarterback later in the draft. But I think this is kind of his year. Like, okay, if we don't win games, then they're just gonna be done with him. So
And that division sucks. So like you should be
yeah,
expecting to win it. Like
exactly. I think a lot of teams like Washington is like, okay, this division is not good. Let's capitalize now, and just kind of it just gives the Giants another leader on defense, kind of like the 2000s with Strahan. Uh, who's the other guy? He wore like
Tuck.
the yep, yeah. I was gonna say he wore like the crazy like face mask. Yeah, Justin Tuck. Yeah, guys like that. I think, and that kind of just obviously carries you to a championship team. So, who do you have the Giants picking?
So actually I have the Cardinals trading up here from 16.
Okay.
And seeing that Pitts has fell to this, I think they take the opportunity and just do whatever it takes to get here and take Pitts.
Mm,
Um, they need a tight end right now, and I think that would kind of like complete their offense in a way.
mm.
I mean, if they get Pitts, dude, with Kyler, and then you got D Hop, AJ Green. Why am I forgetting their third receiver? Help me out on this one. I'm forgetting. Uh,
Who? What do you?
their third receiver. Oh my God.
Who'd you say? Hopkins and then
Hopkins, Green,
Kirk. Yeah,
Kirk. Yes.
yeah, Kirk. That's pretty good
Yeah,
offense. I mean,
pretty good offense. Yeah,
yeah.
and like
So
their defense, like it has some flaws, but like they're gonna see Pitts here and be like, we have to get this dude. Like,
yeah, the D line's
help Kyler
nice.
out.
D line's really nice. I think they have some secondary issues, especially with Pat Pete finally
Yeah,
leaving. But
but
they'll.
I do like the Malcolm Butler sign. So
Oh, yeah, forgot they signed him, but I think they'll address. They'll probably draft a
yeah,
corner, and then they have Buda Baker, who's you know
yeah.
bolsters that, of course. So yeah, that's for now. That's pick 11. Pick 12. This is where the Eagles traded down with the Dolphins. I think the Eagles still get their guy. I think they're going to get Devontae Smith. I think he'll fall perfectly to them. There's an obvious need for wide receiver as well on this team. I don't think Rager's it. I don't think any of those guys are it. But Devontae Smith, Heisman winner, just kind of gives you a good shot at just an all Pro Bowl player here, and it gives Hurts. I think they're committed to Hurts at this point. Obviously, with trading down, that kind of told everyone that. So, and it also gives the Alabama alumni a chance to pair up in the draft. So, who do you have? 12, Austin.
So I have them taking Jalen Waddle. I feel like they kind of have to if he's there. Uh, I mean, that receiving core just keeps missing and missing. I mean, they gotta hit it, and I feel like if you take Waddle, they probably do hit it. I mean, he's pretty safe in my opinion. I mean, his speed, he has all the intangibles to be a good player.
Mm,
They really need that. I mean, there's a lot of holes in this team, and I think that's kind of why they traded down to get more assets. But hey, you take Waddle here and you just move on, see what you can do.
yeah, could be either or. You know,
Yep.
Smith, Smith or um, Waddle.
Yeah, I
So
mean, if Smith is there, I mean, go ahead.
yeah, I think they're definitely drafting a receiver though. Could
Yeah.
all right. So pick 13, we have the Chargers. Interesting pick here. I have them taking Rashawn Slater. Um, this is gonna just assemble a very above average O line from last year, having actually the worst O line according to PFF grading, just the 32nd dead last. I think this is going to be an above average O line with Slater. Can play anywhere on the line, and he's a 10-year Pro Bowl field career guy. So, and I think the Chargers are ready to just kind of protect Justin Herbert, bulk up on the defense, and just make a huge leap in 2021. I see them winning like 10 games next year. So,
I hope so.
yeah. Who do you have?
I also have Slater here. I mean, like,
Okay.
I had him last time and I have it again.
Yeah, same.
Kind of need to. Not really much to say there. I mean, he could be the best lineman in this draft. You never know. See what kind of
Yeah, arguably.
busts a little bit. But
Yeah, how much to say there? It's a pretty safe pick. So, number 14, got the Vikings. I think they're gonna take Caleb Farley. I think Caleb Farley's stock is kind of dropped. It seems like since our last mock draft. I had him going to the Broncos in our first one, but I had the Vikings getting him. Their secondary is atrocious, so they really need a speedy, quick guy who can kind of match with anybody, and that's Farley. I think, like you said, he kind of isn't as pro ready, I think, as Sertan, just because Sertan was in that Alabama defense, and
yeah.
any of those guys can play in the NFL easily. Well, I mean, most of them go on to do so. So I just think he fits well at Minnesota and kind of that speedy kind of defense, but they have a lot of needs as well. So
So I also am gonna go on the defensive side here, but I'm gonna go Kwity Paye. They could use another edge rusher on that team opposite from Daniil.
hmm,
He's really good. I've said this before, but he's from around my area, so kind of like
hmm.
a homer for him. But he's also really good though. I mean, he's probably the best edge rusher, no bias there. But maybe Rasuru, but we'll see how that goes. Um, yeah, I think they have to go defense here no matter what. I would be okay with either of our picks. So
Hmm. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with either of those. I think they could also go edge rusher as well, same pick as what you said. So okay, this is gonna bring us to our final pick of the mock draft. We're obviously not gonna do the full one, so we're gonna stop at pick 16. Um, wait, Austin, did you go to pick 16
no,
or?
I said that they went down to 16. The Cardinals,
Okay,
that's where they were. But
gotcha. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna stop here. Patriots, number 15. Well, I have the Patriots. I think you have the Falcons.
Falcons, yeah.
Okay, Falcons. All right. So the Patriots, I think they're gonna take JC Horn because I think they're kind of a lot of what ifs with the cornerback situation. JC Jackson could possibly be leaving. And if he does, they get a second round pick, which, isn't a bad return, but I think it's a possibility he could. Um, Gilmore, another very possible trade candidate. I think he's got a couple more years of
Yeah.
elite production left. So if they don't trade him, then I think JC and Gilmore are going to line up really nice. But I just feel like JC Jackson is, I feel like he's bound to leave. But
You think he's
him,
on his way out? I could
yeah,
see it.
yeah. I don't know if we're definitely getting lower in the cap space after the
Yeah.
spending spree. So
I'm surprised no one's done it yet, though. I feel like if someone really wanted to, like, because
yeah,
it's not that much either. I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's 4 million tender, so
yeah. But I guess the second round pick's a lot to
yeah,
give
you got to
up,
think about it.
especially if it's a team with not a good record. So, um, and yeah, I think it's a great environment for JC Horn. JC Horton kind of shined on a bad team, bad South Carolina team. And that kind of just shows a lot about how well policed he can be in in the show. So, who do you have Falcons taking, Austin?
I haven't taken Caleb Farley here.
Okay.
Uh, he's probably like you said, he's the second best corner most likely.
Mm,
Very fast. They could use a corner. I mean, also that secondary they kind of need to. I mean, they lost Neal, like you said earlier. I mean,
mm,
they have a lot of holes there, but I think you take Farley here. Maybe if there's an offensive player, you do it, but like an alignment, like a somehow Slater is there, maybe.
mm.
But I don't know. I think you got to go defense here.
No, yeah, I agree. They they have a lot of needs to address. Definitely more on defense. So I think that's a great pick for them. So all right, that'll wrap up our kind of updated mock draft. I'm sure we'll probably have another one.
Yeah,
Uh,
maybe like the week or two before.
yeah, I was gonna say a week before, um, and then maybe just have a reaction after, like right after the
Yeah.
draft, just see what happened, like round one. Could definitely see that happening. So yeah, that's it for our mock draft. So now we're gonna shift to a different sport. We're gonna shift to the NBA trade deadline. We didn't get to cover this just because we took last week off, but the NBA trade deadline was last week. I believe it was last
Yeah, last
Thursday.
Thursday.
Yep, last Thursday. Ended at I think 3 p.m. So a lot of um not as you know, I think a lot of people didn't see. I guess we'll start off with Nikola Vucevic trade.
Yeah, that one caught me off guard.
Yeah, I did not see that happening just because I felt that was a more summer off season trade, not because it just seemed like the Magic weren't gonna move him. But man, it seems like they sold everybody on the team. They just
Yeah, we'll get
gutted that
into
team.
that.
Yeah. So I mean, what's kind of the first trade you wanted to talk about here with the NBA?
I was actually going to talk about Vucevic too. I mean, so
Okay, perfect.
they got Al Farouq Amino with him, but I don't know. Like, I didn't like what the Magic really got. I mean, you got Wendell Carter, Otto Porter, who honestly I thought was going to get bought out at first,
Oh, did
and
he
then
not get bought out?
no, he's still there.
Oh wow. Is he
And
playing?
then yeah,
Oh.
and then they got two first. So
Yeah.
you give a franchise player for a binge starter and right now a bust in a way. So I'm not gonna say complete bust, but he didn't really work out with Chicago.
Yeah. Carter's still pretty young. So maybe just kind of that. I mean, he's
Yeah,
obviously
maybe
gonna he's getting
Henry.
it. Yeah. Um he's getting a shit ton of playing time now.
Yeah,
So maybe that could you just kind of need that change of scenery because still has a lot of talent in him. He actually today dropped 21 and 12. So
yeah, I saw that. I was like, okay,
so there you go in 31 minutes. So it's not bad at all. I think you really need that. And Otto Porter, I swear they were gonna buy him out. It seemed like
yeah.
that, but I guess not. They got RJ Hampton too, didn't they?
No, that was that. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Oh yeah, okay, that's the other one. That's part of
All
their
right.
haul. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. All right. So next we're gonna go Evan Fournier.
Okay.
That was a pretty cheap trade. I mean, the Celtics got him for 2 seconds.
It was
I
very
feel
I
like
think it
they
was
kind of
yeah.
stole that. So
I'm surprised. It was a
he was
kind of a
averaging 20 this year. So
it was kind of an undersell. I
yeah,
mean, like 2 seconds? Like wow. That's I feel like they like did they even ask for a first? I'm sure they
who
did,
knows?
but
We don't know what they asked for.
it's just crazy. And okay, I don't know. Do you want to talk about his I mean, his Celtics debut wasn't so great. And
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too worried about it just because I know how good he can be. But little, I think he was just kind of nervous. He was trying to force stuff in a way. Like
how was he
we'll see.
against the Mavs the other night?
I mean, he had 6 points. He's pretty efficient though. It's not like he was missing shots. He just didn't take a lot of shots. Like
Okay.
I, this is a whole different story, but I don't think Brad's using him right. Uh, I don't think Brad's doing a lot of things right, honestly, right now. And I didn't want to put it on him, but I think there is some things he should be changing. And I mean, some personnel problems, which you can't really do. The coach can't fix that much, but that's a whole
Yeah.
other story.
Yeah, does it feel like the I don't know. I've was reading a lot of Celtics Twitter. It feels like the players kind of just giving up on him. I don't know. And now he's being rumored to like um possibly take the UNC job for Roy Williams
Oh my
because he
God,
just
imagine.
retired today.
Yeah,
I mean, how long has Brad been here?
eight
2013, I think.
years. 8 years.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Is that crazy to
The only
have him?
problem is then you have to figure out who's going to replace him, and they want to win now.
Yeah,
So
I
we'll see.
think. Yeah, I don't think everyone expected Fournier to be dropping 20 a night like he did on the Magic just
Yeah,
because.
I'm not asking for that. I just want
Yeah,
10 to 15, maybe.
yeah, that's fair. That's kind of what they needed. I think it was still a good buy, even though
Yeah.
he. I don't think it's just a change of scenery. I don't think it's a big deal right now. So
And then next, the Magic also traded Aaron Gordon to the Nuggets, who I
yeah,
wanted on the Celtics. But okay.
yeah, just
Uh,
a complete fire sale. It seems like.
and
So.
this was probably their worst like return in my opinion, even though Fournier was like less. But for what Gordon is, I know Gordon is obviously not like a superstar, but
Mm,
he has a lot of potential.
yeah,
Anyways, they traded him for Gary Harris, who has been kind of lackluster in his career and can't stay healthy. And then RJ Hampton, who's a rookie, and he's not. It's not like he's one of the top rookies. I mean, he's just eh. And then they
yeah,
got and I'm pretty sure they got like one first. So I don't know.
yeah.
I don't really
It
like it.
was it was like a 2025 first or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of you know a
I mean,
little
maybe RJ Hampton works out for them, but I don't know.
was a little upset when I saw that return just because I was like, we couldn't really top that. Like, I don't know.
I mean, I think we would have had to give Smart, but it's like,
But even then, it's like, I mean, it's kind of worth it, no?
yeah,
But and Gordon's a nice player, still 25, and now the Nuggets are just loaded.
yep. They
Yeah,
kind of filled Jeremy Grant's spot doing that.
yeah, and he's a career 12-6 guy, 12-6, um, 12-6-2 guy. I mean, it's pretty
I also
good.
think some of that's just being on the Magic. I mean, that you can't ever be
Yeah,
your full potential there.
yeah, could be.
We saw that with Oladipo too.
Mm, same thing there. I don't know what they're doing. Just seems, I don't know.
And then, so the next like major trade was Oladipo being traded from the Rockets to the Heat.
Uh,
This was the worst return in the day.
yeah.
Oh my God. Well, I don't know what the Rockets are doing. Freaking Kelly Olynyk and Rodney Hood. No, Avery Bradley and Kelly Olynyk.
Two former Celtics.
Oh, and then a pick swap. They didn't even get a first. They got a
Yeah, a pick
swap.
that I don't know what was up with.
Like I thought they couldn't get worse after doing that Harden deal, but oh my God, they basically just traded Oladipo for two bench warmers who were 30. Like, what are
It's
you doing?
Avery Bradley, does he even play anymore? I haven't heard his name forever. I mean, was he even playing?
He
I
was on
thought.
like the Heat or something. Yeah, he's on.
Oh my god.
And before that, he was on LA, and he didn't really do much in LA. Like I don't know what.
Oh, it's yeah.
And they're rebuilding, so why are you getting guys who are done? Like you know what they are.
He wasn't doing anything. Just like an 8-point score. Like, come on. I mean, I don't know. And then Olynyk, I mean, he's a solid, like, I guess, depth
I
center,
guess.
but
Like
who can shoot, but he's not really a.
we're talking about Victor Oladipo here. I mean, it's like friggin' Tristan Thompson. Like I don't know what.
And then a pick swap. I think the pick swap is like 2027. I don't even know. I think. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
that
sure.
really pissed me. Like the Celtics could have beat that. Like Jesus.
All right. Anything else for any other
Um,
trades? I think
I
there was a
mean, I
few.
feel like we'll have this as the last one. The Raptors getting Norm Powell, and then the Raptors getting Gary Trent and
Yeah.
Rodney Hood, and they gave Norm Powell to the Trailblazers.
Yeah, I like that for the Blazers. I have
Yeah.
Powell in fantasy, and he can score 25 any given night.
I also like it for the Raptors, though. I mean, Gary Trent is a really good young player, so
Yeah, I feel like they're both kind of similar. They just
fair
shoot.
trade.
They're just shooters. So yeah. Who's the other guy the Raptors got? I forget.
Rodney Hood.
Oh, like
He's like
oh
a
wow.
He's a
Yeah,
decent like spark guy, but nothing
yeah.
special.
Just kind of another. Weren't the Celtics like rumored to get him? But then again,
I mean, maybe
rumored,
1 year, but
rumored to get
I
everybody.
mean, we're rumored to get a lot of guys, so I kind of I lose count sometimes.
All right,
And
so
then
that.
there was we can also say the trade that didn't happen that we kind of
Oh
thought
yeah,
would.
yeah.
Uh, so if somehow, I mean, even if it wasn't to this team, but they didn't, the Raptors didn't move Lowry. I thought he would go to the Sixers, but even if he didn't go to the Sixers, I thought he would go somewhere. But
Like LA.
he didn't get
I mean,
moved at all. Yeah,
yeah.
I thought maybe the Clippers, the Lakers, and the Sixers. I mean, maybe the Raptors. I mean, not the Raptors, the Heat too. But
Yeah, Lowry was interesting because I think the whole day he was. It was like the talks were like steaming. It was just like, yeah, he's gonna be moved. He's gonna be moved.
the
And I
night
thought,
before, he was like saying goodbye, basically.
yeah. And then the like 30 minutes before the deadline is like, okay, he's not being traded. Like, I mean, he's a free. I mean, I think he's a free agent next in the
I
summer.
just don't understand why they didn't. He's old. He might not even come back. If he does, I mean, you're kind of like you suck right now. Like,
I feel like it was more
why
for
don't you
just
trade him? Yeah,
yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's more just for like the fans, just to kind of keep him. I don't know, keep that presence still. Because I don't know. I think weren't the Lakers in on him? I think,
I mean,
and
I think you just take best offer there. I don't care what, even if it's not what you thought you would get, you take best offer because he's not gonna be back. And maybe if he is back, like I don't know,
I
just
I, I think they could have managed a first out of him. I mean,
oh,
somewhere.
they definitely got offered at first. I mean, I think it might
Yeah.
probably did get a good offer. I just don't think they took it.
Oh wait, I think wasn't this the? I think there was a report that the asking price was like ridiculous.
Yeah, I didn't think they were gonna get that. But
Yeah,
I
no
did think
way.
they would get a good return, but and I'm sure they did. But
Yeah, I think
I
the
did hear that I'm not sure if this is true or not, but like the Sixers offered like Maxi and like a pick or something like that. Like I would have taken that.
yeah, I guess the um probably it was a lot though. I think the Raptors asked like Maxi, another player, and then like three firsts or something for Kyle. Like,
Oh,
and
it might have been Ty. What's his name? Ty Bowler. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. So I don't know. That's kind of a lot to give up for just. I know the Sixers are kind of a win now, aren't they in
yeah.
first right now? I think
I feel like
still.
if they got Lowry, that could kind of like complete their team a little bit. But
Yeah. So I mean, who do they have at point guard?
I mean,
In this.
Seth sometimes, and then you have Ben if he wants to play point guard. I mean, it's
Uh,
weird. That rotation's a little weird, but
is it like positionless? They kind of
yeah,
just
in
okay.
a way.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that was kind of. It wasn't the most, I don't think, entertaining deadline. Like an AD trade, something like that, like in the past. Or, I mean, I think the NBA trade deadline has been kind of um quiet the past few years. I don't know, but now,
Yeah,
but this year
this was a good one though.
it was a good one. Yeah, because of the Magic fire sale. So now
Yeah.
it's funny because all those major trades that we said were literally the Magic, and they didn't move. What's his name? They didn't move. It's the other shooter. This is Terrence Ross, right? And
Yeah,
he's
they didn't trade him.
yeah, he's probably pissed. He's still there.
And then
I guess.
before we move on, just a little quick mention that
Okay.
Spurs bought out Aldridge. He went to the Nets, which
Oh yeah,
is
yeah.
unfair. And then uh Drummond was bought out and went to the Lakers, almost the Celtics, but it's okay. He just got hurt actually, which is kind of ironic, but
Oh yeah, I think I saw a report today. He'll be back the next game. I think.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I have a little rant about that actually. I think I was telling. I said this to
Go on.
someone. I was like, okay, these players that get bought out, people like players like Blake Griffin, Marcus Aldridge, Andre Drummond. It seems like okay, Blake Griffin was on Detroit, played terribly the past 2 years, whatever. Uh, I don't know how many years was he on the Pistons. A couple years now.
2 or 3.
Yeah, he's looked like complete trash, and now, okay, then he just gets sits out. He sits out. They the Pistons look for a trade. They don't find one. They just decide to buy him out. and then he goes to the Nets, and now he looks. I don't think he's playing a ton of minutes,
Yeah,
but
but at least he's dunking. He wasn't even
yeah,
dunking
that's what I'm
for
saying.
real.
He looks great. He looks like normal. The game against the Rockets, he played 22 minutes, so he's playing like 20 minutes a game now. He had 11 and 6. I mean, he's how I don't know. Is I don't I just think it's kind of
Yeah, I mean, he's playing his role. I mean, he's gonna be a role player, and if he does that, they're gonna. I mean, they already are kind of unfair, but just adding all this depth now, which they didn't have after the Harden trade, it's just.
I just feel like I know
I mean,
the
it's not even fair anymore.
I know that at the NBA it's kind of a tough because they can't really intervene because obviously it is just
Yeah,
it's a shitty loophole that needs to kind of be addressed. And again, and then Marcus Aldridge on trade deadline, it was so obvious he was going to go to the Nets, obviously. And tonight in his debut, I think he was like 5 for 10, had like 11 points, nine
yeah.
rebounds. Like what? How is this? And now they're. I don't think there's any chance anyone else wins the NBA title now.
I
I
mean,
don't.
it's almost locked. I mean, as long as the Lakers are healthy, I feel like it has to be Lakers Nets, and I think the Nets are gonna beat them. To be honest, as good as LeBron and AD are, I don't know if there's any team in the NBA that can take down that team in 7 games.
It's just
I don't know. It would
so
take a miracle.
it's so predictable at this point. It really is. And obviously, and these guys, the big three in Brooklyn, Harden, Kyrie, KD, it's they play every other game. So they're obviously just resting him until the playoffs. KD hasn't played in, I don't know, a month or so. I mean, he could probably come back now. He's just still I
Yeah,
get they're kind of
they don't need
nurse.
him.
No, they don't at all. They're kind of nursing that Achilles. I don't blame him for that because they really need to watch that because if they overuse him in the playoffs, you'd think something could happen on that
Yep.
hamstring Achilles. But and then Andre Drummond, I don't feel as like strongly about this one about the others because I feel like the Lakers actually kind of need some help, especially with AD. I think he's still
Yeah.
out, right?
Yep.
He'll yeah. So I don't really feel as bad there. Um, but it's just funny how the Celtics like get teased.
It's every
Uh,
time. I don't even blame Danny Ainge on this one.
no,
He
no,
tried. He tried to bring him in. I think he obviously there's nothing else he could have done.
no.
They brought him in. They tried to win him over, and he just didn't want to come here.
It's just like obviously it was just so obvious. It's just giving so much hope to Celtics fans, and then they just go to the Nets. And it's definitely the decision they made probably like a month ago. Like they were
And
gonna go.
this is kind of going back a little bit, but like Kevin
Yeah,
Durant, we're the second option. That's like we're always the second option. I can't take it anymore.
I know. And it's funny because um, after the Harden deal, the initial Harden deal, this team was not very deep. Remember, they were giving up, I think, like 130 points a game, and they had to score like
Yep.
140 to win. And they were doing that, but they were also losing at the same time. I remember they lost like the Wizards, they lost to some like kind of bad teams, but
Yeah.
now they're the deepest team in the NBA. I mean, Aldridge is going to give them another front court
The scary
option.
thing is they don't even have Dinwiddie, and they're gonna have him again next year.
Oh man, this
Uh,
they're the ultimate like title or bust team. I think they have like a 2 year window and that's it pretty much because
Maybe three, depending how they hold up. But
it's just a bunch of buyouts pretty much because you got Aldridge, Griffin, and that kid Claxton's pretty good too.
yeah,
So and then Bruce Brown can score. I'm pretty sure. So
yep, he's decent.
oh man, this team is just I just don't see anything happening. I don't even know if I think the Lakers, if they're completely healthy, maybe they can give them.
They're the only team that has a chance, but even then, it's like
Yeah, I don't like
I
the
don't know.
clip. I don't know how you feel about the Clippers. I don't like them too much. Seems like PG
They
just
get hype and then they just fall apart in the playoffs. So
yeah, it's the same story every year, and PG sucks in the playoffs. Yeah, it's the same thing. So I don't know, but yeah, that's kind of my like little Nets rant. I just don't see this. It's just it sucks honestly, just seeing all this, but hey, I guess that's how it is. It's a loophole that is just allowed, and teams are smart for it. So
yep,
can't blame them. All right, so that's pretty much it for the NBA. We're just gonna finish off here just a little bit. We're not gonna spend too much time on it. I've been going pretty long now. So today was MLB opening day. It like just finished. I think the last game is finishing up now, but we kind of just wanted to talk about what we saw, some expectations for the season. Um, so I'll just start ahead. Some breakout players this year. I just have a couple of them. I have one being Dylan Carlson on the Cardinals. He actually hit a home run today, and he looked really good.
Yeah.
I think the Cardinals are gonna run away with that Central Division. I think they're gonna
Yeah.
win. I think they're gonna win 95 games. Arenado looked great. He went like 2 for 5, I believe. Um, and this team is loaded. I think
Some people think the Brewers have a shot, but I just can't see it.
no. Even with their 1-2 punch with like Woodruff and Corbin Burns, I really like um the Cardinals offense better. I just think I wish the Cardinals could get another arm maybe just for that bottom
Yeah.
half of the rotation, but besides that, I think it's a really good ball team that could make a deep run in October. I think they're kind of a World Series sleeper. So, and then my
Yeah, but
second player, I just have Brian Hayes, uh,
yeah.
prospect. He hit a home run today as well.
Yeah.
I think he went like 1 for 5, but it was a really good shot off Kyle Hendricks. He's a pretty good veteran pitcher. So
Yep.
that was his first at bat, I believe. I don't think that was his first at bat in majors. I think he played a little bit
Yeah, he
last year.
played some last year.
Yeah. So um, I think he's going to be just a monster, and I think the Pirates. That's kind of it's a bright spot on that very dark organization team future wise. So I don't know. Who do you have a couple players
Yeah,
to
so
break
I have
out?
a few here actually.
Okay.
So first I got Nate Pearson for the Blue Jays. I'm a big
Ooh,
Nate
yeah,
Pearson guy.
yeah,
I think he's kind of key to that rotation too. I mean, if he pitches well, they can make the playoffs. So
mm,
that's my first one.
I
Then we
like
got
him.
Bobby Dalla back. I get to see this dude a lot because I mean I'm a Red Sox fan. So I think the sky's the limit for Dalla back. I mean, the dude has unlimited power. Like this dude could like check swing and hit it over the monster. It's just
His insane pop. Yeah.
the only thing that could hold him back is just striking out. But I mean, I feel like every power hitter now is kind of like that. So
Mm,
and then you got Andrew Vaughn on the White Sox, their top prospect, first baseman. I think he's gonna be a really good player. I mean, has a lot of power. I'm pretty sure he's a pretty good contact dude too. So yeah, it's
yeah,
him. It also adds on to the White Sox team. I mean, they're gonna be pretty good this year.
it's a good pick. I'm pretty sure. They said he was gonna probably like DH and then
Yep.
also play in the outfield because now Eloy's hurt. So that kind of
Yeah.
just opened up a spot for him. He's got some nice power too.
And then my last one's Dylan Carlson, like you had him too.
Yeah.
Really good player, hit a home run today. I think he's gonna be a big key piece for that Cardinals team. And yeah.
Yeah, I think he'll make a I didn't really like him last year. I don't think he
Yeah,
wasn't
he wasn't at the he wasn't where they wanted him to be, but
yeah, he hit like 200, so but I think he's definitely gonna bounce back this year. He's a lot of power. So
there's a reason why he was as like highly ranked as he was. So
yeah, exactly. So now I'm just gonna go some dark horse award winners. Austin, you want to start us off there? I mean, just kind
I'm
of
gonna go with the AL and NL MVPs first.
okay.
So my AL MVP dark horse is Rafael Devers. The
Gotcha.
dude is a really good pure hitter. I mean, he doesn't even like he strikes out, but he doesn't strike out like some of these other guys. I mean, he can
Mm,
hit a lot of extra base hits, home runs. I mean, that dude, and he just has to work on his fielding. But I mean, that's not really gonna like really affect his MVP. But I mean, that's why he's a dark horse, though. I mean, if he was a good fielder too, oh my god, like
mm.
he'd be such a good 5 tool player.
Oh, he would be.
Um, and then NL MVP. This isn't like that much of a dark horse, but you don't hear him a lot. Corey Seager.
Mm,
I feel like other people like there's other names being thrown around, but I think Corey Seager could easily win it. And he's kind of like shadowed by Bellinger and Betts. So that's kind of why he's my dark horse.
yeah, that's a good pick. I'll add on to that. So my kind of like dark horse AL MVP. Um, sorry, NL MVP. I'll have to go with Manny Machado. I think
Yep.
I think he's overshadowed by Tatis, but this guy still produces, and he is just. I think he's worth every dollar that they gave him, and I don't see any flaws in his game whatsoever. I think he tends to strike out a lot, but any any big hitter like him kind of does. I don't. It's not that concerning. I think average is kind of overrated for the most part anyway, but he still hits 280 no problem. Um,
Yeah,
and then in the American League, I could actually see. I think this is a stretch, but I think Vladimir Guerrero could
I
make
could
a
see
good
it.
make a good run for it. Cut 40 pounds. He looked good today at a hit against Cole, I believe. He hit a 115-mile-an-hour exit velocity single. So this guy is just insane power still, even after losing all that weight. And I think it's time for him to really just shine in this league. I think he was brought up a little too fast by
Yeah, the
Toronto.
hype was way too high. It is
I think
way
it's
over here.
way too much for him, way too much. But I think he's really ready.
It's kind
Um,
of hard when your dad is Vlad Guerrero. So yeah.
Everyone's kind of expecting that. So, and our kind of our last segment here for baseball, I have teams that will surprise this year. Austin, you want just got a few teams?
So my surprise teams are the Nationals, Brewers, and Red Sox. I mean, all three of these teams could very easily make the playoffs, in my opinion.
Mm,
Um, just depends how things break for them. I mean, they need breaks, obviously. I mean, they need some things to go their way, but I mean, I could see it.
yeah. I agree with you there. I agree with the Red Sox thing. I think this it does definitely have a very kind of small market feel to where they'll just kind of overperform, kind of like in past
Yeah.
years, maybe like 2013, where guys just like Mike Napoli, Johnny
I
Gomes
mean,
that
Johnny
just
Gomes wasn't that good of a player, and then he
no,
comes.
it's just guys that come. It's like every year there's a World Series hero that isn't really that MVP every year,
I mean, you
but
got
they just
Steve Pierce for us in 2018. I
yeah,
mean,
that's what I'm saying. Steve Pierce in 2018, guys like that. David Price, who was really not on, but
awful playoff pitcher too.
awful, awful in the play. I think he hadn't won a game, and he had like a 5 ERA, and he just came clutch out of the bullpen. I think he should have won MVP. I think maybe give him like co MVP in that World Series, and then just recently in 2019, Howie Kendrick, dude went
Yeah,
off in the postseason. Same with Juan Soto, who was like 20 at the time, and it's just guys like that who just you would think they're platoons upon signing, but they come through in the end. And in 2020, I'm trying to think of someone who kind of came through. I think Mookie played pretty well in the
I mean,
last World.
Kike was a kind of a clutch guy.
Kike, how could I forget it? Randy Rosarena,
Yep.
another guy, another top prospect, of course, but kind of a guy like Soto just had no playoff experience whatsoever. Just came in absolutely crushed, and they almost won a World Series doing it. So, um, I just I would do like the Red Sox. I'm not trying to be biased at all. I don't.
Yeah,
In my opinion, I don't think the Red Sox. I think they'll win about 82 games. I think
yeah.
that's fair. But
That's kind of what my prediction is. I'm just saying, like,
I
maybe
just
they make the playoffs. Like, it's just
yeah, just look out for him. I guess.
yeah.
Um,
And then, do you want to talk about the disappointing teams?
yeah,
Or
I just have one more team that I think what
oh,
might
all right.
surprise. I think the I guess the Cardinals. I'll go with the Cardinals because a lot of people had the Brewers. I think most people had the Brewers winning the
Yeah,
Central.
I don't know
So
how they.
yeah, I have the Cardinals. I think they're gonna win 90 games or so. I really like the lineup. You got Edmund, Goldschmidt, Arenado, DeYoung, very good power, and then of course Dylan Carlson, who we named before. Um, the rotation really needs some work. I hope they get somebody maybe
Yeah,
the deadline. They got Miles Mikolas. He's still on the DL. I think he'll be back at some point this season, but it's basically Flaherty and it then Wainwright, who's a good veteran pitcher, and then just kind of drops off. Still got Carlos Martinez, but these aren't guys who really can go that deep. But I think the offense can just really shinier.
Yeah,
So
Flaherty's gonna have to like carry them.
pretty much, and the offense is gonna have to carry it. But I think
Yeah,
they're a 90-win team to me, especially with Arenado. So I don't know. You got any disappointing teams? I only have like one, so it's up to what you got there.
So I have three again here. So the Angels, the Rays, and the Phillies.
Mm,
All three of these teams could easily just not make the playoffs and just not live up to what they're kind of supposed to be. I mean, Phillies, I mean, I know they're in a stacked division, but they're kind of supposed to be good. I just don't think I have a feeling they won't be.
mm,
And the Rays, I mean, they're tough. It's a small market, and they did lose Snell, and they're gonna need Randy to step up, and they need Glass now to be like that true number one. Like he needs to be elite, and then the Angels, I mean, they keep disappointing, but people still hope they can be good. And I don't think it will happen again.
mm.
Like they're gonna be bad again, in my opinion. So until
That
they get pitching, I mean, that team, and unless they get such a good lineup that you just can't be bad. But even then, I feel like you kind of saw that with the Red Sox. No matter how good your lineup is, you kind of need pitching. So
mm. Yeah. I completely agree with all those, especially um the Angels. I don't like the direction they're going in. They really need pitching, just bad.
and like
And
Rendon was a good signing, but was it really like gonna put you over? I mean,
now he's just sitting there, him and Trout. It's I don't know. I just don't think it's a great situation. But for my disappointing team, we'll wrap it up here. I have the what was I gonna say? Oh, White Sox. Sorry, I have the White Sox. I think they're just so overhyped that they're gonna underperform. Um, I think I still think they'll get 85 wins or so. Nine, but I don't think they're gonna win this division. I think the Twins are still just too good, and losing Eloy Jimenez um did suck
yeah,
for them. I think Vaughn will fill in pretty. I think not as well as Eloy, of course, but I mean
yeah.
this is still a great lineup, of course. But I just think they're just gonna underperform because they're so just overhyped. But I do really like the rotation. I love Giolito. Keuchel's a great piece. Lance Lynn, who's a guy who was great last year. Um, and then it's basically Dylan Cease and then Carlos Rodon. So I
Yeah.
could see it happening for sure. But um, so yeah, I think that'll kind of wrap us up here on episode 4. Please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please like it, help us out, share it. This will probably be up on Friday during the day when you're listening to this, because we just wrapped up opening day. We appreciate everyone for listening. Go follow our Instagram. All the links are in the bio. So I appreciate it. Take care, guys. See ya.